It's Courtney, and I am back with another video. And today, we are going to play with a new product. Make sure I didn't show my address. Not that, never mind. So, the other day, I was thinking about it because I just have umpteen tubes of concealer that are all just too dark for me. They just all have like an orangey look. Most of these are brand new, even. Oh, that's a lipstick. It was almost skin colored, or my skin color. It is skin color, just not mine. These are all, every one of them are different concealers that are the lightest shade that I have tried within the last year, I would say. So even the ones, I think I used this one a little bit, but it was really orange on me. I think this is the first one that I tried to stick with it. It just, and it gets even more, and they all oxidize. So what you see in the tube, this one could possibly work if they didn't all darken once on the skin. If they all just stayed this shade, some of them might have worked. This one, clearly, too orange. It's the lightest color in their whole line. This one, lightest shade in the whole line. Clearly, just looks orange on my extremely pale skin. The NYX HD Studio Photogenic. It looks like almost the same color as my skin, but not only do I have pale skin, but I have cool-toned pale skin, which doesn't happen very often, it seems like. It seems like most pale people are warm-toned. They've got like that pinky undertone, but I don't have it. I don't know. Other than my cheeks right here, I've got like, it looks like I'm wearing blush even when I'm not wearing blush. I've got like rosy cheeks. That's the one good thing about my natural skin is that I've got rosy cheeks. But otherwise, it kind of sucks because everything I get is always orange looking on me, because even when it's my shade, it's got that, warm undertone to it. So like I said, this is probably the best, the closest, but it still is just too dark once it dries, which is really unfortunate because I thought this was going to be perfect. The only one that I've even decently, looks decent on me, there is the CoverGirl one, the True Match that I always use. It's in the tube with the black and white cap, striped cap, but they're not cruelty-free. And I do try to buy everything cruelty-free. Matter of fact, this one's going in the garbage because I don't think it's cruelty-free. Yeah, this is this is L'Oreal True Match. So this one's going to go in the garbage because it's, I'm throwing out all my non-cruelty-free. This one's going to go in the garbage. The Maybelline New York, it's going to go in the garbage because it's just too dark. And it's not cruelty-free. The NYX is cruelty-free. The Wet n Wild ones, the LA Color one, the other Wet n Wild. This one is CoverGirl, probably throw that one out. This one is another Maybelline New York. I think those are two different shades. I must have got the wrong one the first time. But yeah, just over and over and over again, I buy these concealers, and they look like they'll be okay. And then it's weird, too, because once you get them home and open them, it's like they darken up a little bit. Because I never would have went to the store and bought this. I mean, I never would have bought this. It is clearly too dark for my skin. So it's like once you open them up, they oxidize a little bit even. I don't know. It's weird. I hate it. It's annoying. I don't mind my skin shade. I don't mind being pale. But it does suck when it comes to makeup. Just like for really dark skinned people. I'm sure that it's really frustrating because for a very long time, they weren't able to get a good match on makeup, so they had to go, you know, with whatever they could get. And that's really unfortunate because, I mean, there are so many different combinations of skin types, skin tone, undertones, that there's just a lot of people left out on both sides of the spectrum. A lot of yellow toned skins, a lot of I have almost like a gray toned skin, which I know that seems like an odd thing to say, but not like gray toned, but definitely just a very cool toned. And gray always has like gray lipstick or like purpley gray lipstick, looks perfect on me. So there's that. So anyways, we're gonna play with this today. Where did I put it? We're gonna play with this. I was gonna buy the concealer, but it kept saying highlighter beside it. So I didn't want to buy that because I wasn't sure if that was like actual like highlighter and it had like shimmer to it or anything like that. I couldn't tell because it was on Amazon. Oh my gosh. I love the cats, but their little hairs get stuck on my nose ring right here all the time. So I know you guys notice me going like this all the time. It's because there's cat hair stuck in my nose ring. So I'm constantly trying to, you know, without being too noticeable that I'm scratching my nose. But yeah, so this is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wearing Illuminating Foundation. And I got it, obviously, to mix in with all these dark concealers, hoping to be able to mix the perfect shade. I know that the consistencies for concealers and foundations are a little different, but we'll work it out. And I might end up going back and buying the, I want to go and get the, is it Manic Panic? I think they have a full white concealer, and I'm gonna get, but the one I'm gonna try first, oh my gosh, what brand was that? ColourPop. ColourPop has a white concealer on Amazon for $13.50, I think. I'm gonna go get it. This was just something until then because it was only $6 something, so I wanted to see if it would work to begin with. Before I spend, you know, 13, 14 bucks on something that I'm not even sure is going to work. So, we're going to try this out, see how it goes. I am going to take my Incognito, because, as I said, it is the closest to, matching my skin. Because, like, it does have that cool undertone, or maybe it's just a neutral undertone. Maybe it's more neutral. But yeah, there's just those warm undertones, man. They always get me. They look terrible on me. So, we're going to go in with a little brush, and I'm going to take this and put it down first. I need to get like a little mixing palette. I'm going to put it on my hand. I'm going to put a little squirt of this on my hand, and then a little bit of this on my hand, and then mix them together, I guess. I'm going to use my hand as a mixing palette. Then we're going to take a little brush and just put it on with a little brush. And then I'll pat it out with my, okay, do I not have any concealer brushes? I don't really use brushes for concealer, so probably not, honestly. I used to have one or two concealer brushes. This was supposed to be a concealer brush, but I clearly used it for something else. Maybe it's not, actually. There we go. That's a concealer brush. So, let's get a little squirt. Oh, I'm going to have to pump it first because it just opened it. Whoop. There she go. White, 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 white. That is wet. So, we got a little bit of that. Now, and the only thing I fear with this, though, is I'm going to waste a lot of concealer, probably. Unless I can figure out a way to mix it in something and then save what I don't use each time. But I don't know that I could get the mixing proportions correct every time. You know what I mean? Because one pump of this is a lot more than what I can get with the doe foot. So, we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to, like, pat See, that's the problem, is that definitely lightening up. Beautiful. It's close to the white shade, but, you know. Okay, let's see what this can do. Let's get a little bit more of this one in there, just to get enough to actually, you know, use on my skin. Because that's the problem that I see, is like actually getting it mixed. So I need to figure out a different way to mix it up, or it's probably not going to work very well, because it's just gonna go into my skin instead of being able to scrape it all up, if that makes sense. It's just gonna stick to my skin eventually, probably, I would imagine. Or dry on my skin, is what I meant to say. Because I'm not even picking up that much, and I put a good bit on my hand. So that's one problem, potential problem I can see. The color is good. I might just have to lay down yeah, I'll do this on this side. We will mix it, you know, separately, or mix it together on my hand and then put it on together. And then on the other side, I'm going to try a different technique just to see what works better. I'll put down a layer of the white and then a layer of the regular, and then try to kind of pat them together. Okay, so I got as much off my hand as I could. I don't even need that much concealer right now because I actually have foundation on for once. I don't usually wear foundation, but, you know, they say you get that pregnancy glow. Wear mine. Where's it at? I want it now. Because my skin looked pretty defeated this morning. But I didn't sleep well last night. I was trying to put Autumn to sleep and ended up falling asleep in a totally uncomfortable way. So, y'all, I'm going to have to quit this. I'm cutting down a lot, but it's hard to quit anything like that. But, you know. Oh, and for you guys that might not have heard already or didn't see my video the other day, I have dropped a few hints already in this video, I guess. But yes, I am pregnant. We're having another baby. Pray for a boy for me this time, because that would just complete our little family, 2 girls and a boy. I always wanted 2 boys and a girl, but 2 girls and a boy I would be just as happy with. 3 girls I would be just as happy with. But if I could choose, I'm not gonna lie and say I would pick all 3 girls. I want a boy. I've always wanted a little boy, but we'll see. Daddy says I can only make girls, so we'll see. But that's like I told him, because he's suffered child loss as well. Obviously not him, but you know, you get it. One of his partners suffered a child loss, and that could have been a little boy. And that's what I told him. I said that, and I felt bad after I said it, because I was like, oh, that came out wrong. Because I said, you don't know, you could have had a boy before. And I didn't mean it that way, because that's hard to talk about, you know? That's something that, especially with guys don't bring that up. You know, they might tell you about it once, but that's not something that he brings up over and over. But I just meant, like, you don't know that you can't make boys. You could have already made a boy, you know? You just don't know. It was pretty good. It's a lot better It's a lot better than all the shit I've been using. Wow, that looks good. Now, just for like a show, or to show you the difference, or for an example, I'm going to take just this little bit right here, and I'm going to pat it into my skin, because look, it looks about right whenever I first put it on. But then it dries, and buddy, it just turns orange. I don't know. I don't even know that it technically oxidizes. Maybe it's just the way, because on my skin it looks that way. Because I'm sure for a lot of people it doesn't look orange. But for me, it's not lighter than my skin. You're supposed to use a concealer that's a little bit lighter than your own skin tone, and they just don't make that. They don't make that for me. So we'll go to the next best thing, which is, if it has to be mixing, then we'll mix. So, see the difference? Quite unfortunate. Just got that right in my eyebrow. Alright, so now we're going to take careful of this, and we're going to spread it. I'm going to spread it too thick, because, Jesus. I wonder what would happen if I just took, like, strictly the white right now and just mixed it right now, instead of putting any more of the other. Would that work? Or would it be too light? Probably not. Honestly, nothing's too light for me. It's ridiculous. It's crazy, because I'm freaking a quarter Native American. Bitch, where? Like, where did my good genes go? Especially because I should have warm undertones, you know? That skin pigment is beautiful. Why didn't I get any warm, reddy, orangey undertones? Beautiful skin. And I just got this freaking weird ass death skin. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to... Which side looks better? I almost feel like the white side, just the plain white, looks better. But it's not as full coverage, of course. I always do this because I think it looks weird. I just always feel like I look weird with my red eyelids sticking through. We're gonna do it here. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go boop, 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 boop. Couple little boops. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do some boops, and then we're gonna take this and do some boops. Boop, 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 boop. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm stupid, I know. So is anyone else gonna do a tax time haul? I might. I don't know. Because tax time is just one of the... It's like... You know, all year long, you're like, I want this, but it can wait. I can get it some other time. Like, it can wait. We can, you know, I can get it whenever. And then you just wait and wait and wait, and then finally you get your taxes, and you're like, I'm getting that now. It's the time. You know, got a little extra money after, you know, all the things that we wanted to do, which is Mike getting all of his every last fine paid off. So his entire past is paid off now. Like, entirety. So awesome. I don't know if you guys knew this, but he had $65,000 in child support at one time, because he had his first daughter when he was 14 years old. She was born when he was 14. And for some reason back in the day, they thought it acceptable to start charging a 14-year-old boy for child support at 14 years old. He couldn't even go to work. Like, he might have mowed lawns or some shit, but when he did give her money, it was like hand to hand. Like, it would just be like, I bought you some diapers, or I did this, or I did that. And she didn't even raise the child. The grandmother did. So she was getting all this money all those years. And he always just kind of felt like, what the fuck? What am I paying you for? Like, why would I pay you if you don't even have my child? And he kind of felt resentful of it, you know? And so by the time he was 18, he just felt like he was already screwed in life. Like, he just felt like, what's the point? Because he already had like $13,000 in debt by the time he was 18 years old. That's with, what is it called? It accrues, like, more and more, you all know what I'm talking about. Interest. That's with interest, of course. I think it was only like 7 or 8,000 of the actual that he actually owed, but the interest was almost more or just as much as what he owed in child support. Like, how are they going to expect a 14-year-old boy to pay $200 a month in the 80s? Like, they really, really hit him because she went in there and, you know, acted. I'm not going to say any of that. But I just think it's crazy. Like, a 14-year-old boy, like, I don't know if they even do that these days. Like, I don't even know if they would do that. And, like, I would think that until they're both 18, like, the mother could get support. And then once they both turn 18, then it would be the father's responsibility to, or like even 16, because you could get a job at 16. But anyways, that's not the point of this whole thing. The point is that all that's gone. And see, even this darkened up a little bit, because this is wet now. See how it's wet? So it always looks crazy when it's wet. Or it looks good when it's wet is what I meant with just the incognito that I use. It looks good when it's wet, but then once it dries down, it gets darker. So that's exactly what happened here. So this side looks like it's too light, but just wait till it dries down because it'll look like this. So there's a method to my madness, y'all, I promise. My little red cheeks right here always shine through. And I don't even know why I go over my cheeks with concealer, because then I go and put on blush. And I'm like, I wouldn't even have to do that if I would just leave my cheeks alone, because I have natural blush. I literally have, like, rosy red cheeks, so it's stupid. And I use the same color blush as my freaking cheeks are. I'm gonna cry whenever I run out of this. Where's my blush? Where is it? There's my... Oh, y'all, you know what? I was just talking yesterday about how I'm going to buy that Kurumi palette, because, like I said, tax money time, you get things that you've been wanting, but you put it off because you're like, I don't need it right now. So I'll just wait, and then you wait, and then you get your tax money, and you're like, I'm going to get the things that I've been wanting all year long, but I didn't want to spend the money on. Yeah, well, guess what? Kurumi palette, gone for good. It's gone. It was one of those deals, once they're gone, they're gone. And I would like to cry about it right now. So I'm bitching to you guys. Because I love that palette. I wasn't taking necessarily amazing care of it, because I was like, I'm just going to buy another one anyways. Once, you know, we get our taxes and stuff, I'll just buy another one. No, I ain't, unless I want to pay like triple for it. And I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I think it's a beautiful palette and it's cute. And I love that my mother-in-law got me that. That made... She's so sweet. She always does such sweet little things. But I'm not paying $33 for a $12 palette, because I've looked it up. I looked it up when it first came out. And it was like $12.99, $13.50, something like that on their website. So I'm not spending $33. You're making $20 off of something that's not even $20. So I can understand making double. Like, if they wanted to charge $23, I would probably buy it. But that's crazy. Y'all don't yell at me for vaping. I just found out that I'm pregnant, so I gotta cut back. already have. I only drank 1 soda yesterday, and I filled my tank up last night, and it's still completely full. That much out of it, if you can see that. So, like, barely anything out of it. Usually I fill my tank twice a day, so it's pretty good. I've hit it like 4 or 5 times today. And after I filled it up last night, I probably hit it like 2 times, 3 times, something like that. I've been really trying to, oh, and I go to the doctor's on Monday at 11:15 to find out how far along I am. And yeah, all that stuff. So if you guys want to know more about like how I found out and all that stuff, I'd be more than happy to tell you guys. I just don't know if anybody cares. I don't know if anybody want to hear about all that. Like, I don't know. And not only that, but I haven't been saying much about it. Like, I didn't really tell anybody too much about it. I told 4 people, and I told them privately. And I'm only saying this because I know this person probably isn't going to watch this video, but one of our other community members is going through something really hard right now. And it has to do with, you know, children and child loss and that kind of stuff. And I just felt so wrong, like, because we have our in-house chat. And I felt so wrong going in there and being like, oh, guys, like, you know what I mean? It just didn't feel right to be in there talking about that kind of stuff when somebody else is going through something so horrific. And I know exactly how it is. You feel almost jaded towards the world on, like, why would this happen?